Not the most exciting of title screens, is it? Yay, everybody out there, my name is Dragnix, and this is a playthrough, well, maybe a whole playthrough, we'll see how it goes, of Metroid Other M. Metroid Other M is an interesting story about trying something new and somewhat succeeding, but somewhat miserably failing. Um, it is infamous for certain aspects of it. Okay, English and yes, yes, yes. Start on. We're going to start this game right away. Um, so a little bit of backstory with Metroid Other M. So Yoshio Sakamoto, part of Nintendo, approached Team Ninja. Now Team Ninja was known for some good games. Ninja Gaiden, for example, of 2006. And he approached it based on that game to make this idea of Samus's a little bit more of Samus's backstory, a little bit more emotionally invested in Samus, because we knew that Samus existed, the whole unveil of, oh, she's a girl. Oh, but we never really got to know her. We knew she was a bounty hunter. We knew a little bit about her past in terms of Prime and what she went through, like the Chozo thing. Like, for example, the fact that she was a glowing baby in the ether there. Yes, glowing, and she was raised by birds. Caw. But other than that, we didn't know who Samus was. Well, this game tried to explain it. It didn't do a very good job, or didn't exactly go to the expectations of people. Now, what you're seeing here, you also notice the voice actress will get on your nerves. Probably not the best English voice actress, and I'll get into that portion of it, when we come into it in the more cutscenes. So, what's going on right now? I just started the game. What the hell is this shit? Well, this game is set between two games. This is the ending of Super Metroid. For anybody who doesn't know of Super Metroid, go watch like the Game Grumps or somebody else play through it. The baby Metroid is saving Samus at the end of the last battle, sacrificing itself because that's what it did. It got attached to it. Unlike Mother Brain, who wasn't actually a very good mother when you think about it. I mean, she sent all of her minions out to die. Not the greatest of leaders. So I think that's the saddest part of the game, actually. That screaming of the little Metroid, baby Metroid. And then the weird-ass explosion that... Not exactly sure what it does. It shatters into glass, just like it was, hit by a freeze ray. Wasn't actually hit by a freeze ray. It also doesn't necessarily explain how she gets her little charge beam powered up in terms of being able to take on Mother Brain. Doesn't exactly tell about that. This is your home. What the fuck are you ruining your home? Mother.
Time to go.
Yes, I'm a badass action heroine that has the worst voice actress that could have possibly been chosen for this role. Yes, I will be blaming this voice actress for a lot of the problems here. The translation is also horrible too, but... And now we have Zero Suit Samus, because we really needed to see Samus, and it has its backstory to it. It was in Metroid Fusion, but they needed to make her more feminine.
I awoke to the familiar voice of a quarantine officer.
I am a robot. I don't have any emotions.
A dream. I had been reliving the tragic moments of my recent
You see, the monotone voice doesn't exactly do
thanks
a lot
to the
for it.
hyper beam, which was given to me somehow by the baby. I laid Mother Brain
After waiting a turn for it to charge. She really should have used, like, tech to, avoid that hit. Yeah, I know, Pokemon humor. Humor me.
The space pirates, and my long-standing nemesis.
Why is that her long-standing nemesis? What about Mother Brain? I guess Mother Brain's now dead?
Come on, Samus. Let's go next door.
I'm a nerd. I have this voice and this inflection. Still not sure what the symbol on her back means there. I mean, it's obviously part of... And I love this sequence. This is like... It's like... Somebody was watching a little bit too much like Sailor Moon. Because that's what this reminds me of. Like the early episodes of Sailor Moon, or the transformation sequence.
Ready for a quick
Just
test, Samus?
silly.
Let's start with a little warm-up. Try a charge beam for me.
Okay, so here we go. This is the tutorial level, so we got a charge beam. Simple enough. Now you'll notice that this is a lot different from a lot of Metroid games that you've seen. It's not in the 2D or the 3D first-person plane, it's sort of a 2.5D. Well, this is based off the game of Ninja Gaiden and games like that, so you're going to see a little bit different style here, which the gameplay was highly rated for in terms of, you know, by reviewers. It did have a very good rating in terms of that. It suffered in other places, which we'll get to shortly. Alright, so Morph Ball, dropping bombs. Where does she keep all the bombs? I mean, I do wonder how video game characters were able to keep all these things in there. Infinite pockets would be nice.
Perfect, Samus.
Got a radar up on the screen there.
Stand in the middle of the room.
Alright, we're going to need to stand in the middle of the room, and we're going to have to go into this position just because they want dramatic. Alright. Oh, binary 100 up. Now this guy seems like an asshole. And that was the most graceful fall I've ever seen. Like, bink. There we go. Kick, 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 kick. Yep, and there you go. So we'll use that.
Just like that, Samus.
We'll see. We'll see us using that later on. It's not like they could have naturally invited that. All right. So enemies, you can just run around. You really don't like. I mean, you really can just sort of run around and do absolutely random shit in these first parts. Like, I'm not even trying to attack him. I'm just sort of running around, hitting things. So it seems like there's not a lot of technique to it. There actually is, but again, I'll show you guys that as it goes along.
Here comes some beams. Dodge.
All right. So just before being hit, you sense move while pressing 1 for.
Okay. Those
Okay.
are the moves I remember.
See, so I can charge up very quickly by dodging and then hitting. So it is to my best nature to dodge and move.
Nice. Remember how that feels.
Alright.
Next, how about a missile test?
Okay, so this is where things get a little bit less interesting. So, or more interesting, I should say. So, I need to hold the Wii Remote vertically and hold A to replenish my missiles. So I can do that at any time, which is nice.
One of your
But
pesky buddies is lurking here somewhere. Find him for me, huh?
search review, okay, cool. Need to find him. Up there he is. And lock on.
Why not say hello when you
Okay, sure. There we go. Simple, right? Well, the change the first-person perspective and the fact that you're stuck in that first-person perspective, as in you can't move at all, does really
So you plan to just sit there with them?
screw things up. I mean, so a lot of people are like, oh, well, that's what Metroid Prime did. Metroid Prime, you can move. Alright, so we just need to take this guy out, hit him a couple times. Camera can be interesting, too, when it doesn't want to play around nicely. It seems like they should have used the nunchuck for something, and yet I'm only playing with the one controller here. Jump on his head. I can do charge shots on his head like that. Just keep on doing it.
Okay, looking good.
Did a dodge roll there. So the gameplay is reasonable, and I just kicked him in the head because I can just do that.
Samus, now's your chance.
Alright, and... Okay, I'm actually screwing this up now. Okay, that's good. Alright, have one of those. You're an asshole. Now he's gonna actually drop this because we're getting serious
How about
now.
you try using a power bomb?
So what I'm gonna need to do
This area is well fortified, so don't
is
hold
just
back.
hold and charge and then power bomb. You won't see that for a while.
Allow adequate room around you during power bomb.
For power bomb play, if you decide to use it in a recreational fashion.
Looks like you took quite a bit of damage. It's unbelievable how well you've held up.
I wondered if this too was a result of the power the baby.
Every time you speak, I want to hurt you. So that's the major problem with this game.
Right, you're due in the meeting room. The big dogs are waiting.
Big dogs.
You're
Woof
super
woof.
polished, so you'd be at least somewhat presentable.
That's the creepiest smile I think I've seen in a while.
Not even a fragment. None of the baby
What
remained on me.
what would need to be polished there?
I knew it to be true, but still couldn't help looking at my palm for a
And
sign.
she's looking at her palm for a sign, for the sign of the baby,
Never again would I encounter
because
the
hands.
baby. Never.
Mm-hmm.
The finality of it struck me once again.
Are you starting to understand? Starting to understand where this story is a problem?
Mission completed. The planet Zebes was annihilated. And all...
I really do think that a major part of this game,
A simple report.
the
No
writing
story even.
in itself is problematic, but I think the voice actress that they got for that was probably one of the worst decisions made by Nintendo in a long, long while.
I don't know how much time passed since then.
So we're obviously making our way around the
Those recollections
nebulous,
of Metroids in space
around the
grew nebulous
space.
over time, relegated to a past concern of the galactic communities. Nothing more than a faded memory.
Uh-oh.
Codename Baby's Cry. A common SOS with the urgency of a baby crying. The nickname comes from the fact that the purpose of the signal is to draw
Wouldn't you
attention.
want to use that on things
The
that
signal was coming from
you want
home
to, like,
from
you know,
space.
trap people in?
I altered the course of my ship as if this detour had already been part of my flight plan. Baby's Cry.
Because, you know, see,
It was as though it was crying specifically for me.
because she got the connection with the baby Metroid, and she seems like she's a mother. See, the symbolism is deep here, people, and it's not like, you know, directly in your face. Oh. And it's Metroid Other M. The actual title screen this time, as opposed to that original title screen that doesn't seem like somebody put together in 5 minutes. But no, not, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't have any problems whatsoever. Can't read any of that. None of it at all. Look, it's something. I don't know what it is. I'm talking like William Shatner. Obviously, the space base has been destroyed because that's what happens in space bases. I mean, Dead Space did it. Metroid Other M did it. I mean, this is what happens. Do love her ship, though. I really need to find a model of that ship and get like a desktop model of it, because the ship and the suit is lovely. I would like one. Hopefully our ships in the future, or hopefully our cars and ships look like that in the future. And all the polygons. I mean, for a Wii game, it looked pretty good. I mean, it definitely for the time it had looked at the top of this game. It's aged a bit, but honestly, it hasn't aged that badly. There is some fuzziness that you can see here and there, though. Alright. So we've made our way to this mysterious place. There's a signal that is crying for help. Remember the boy who cried wolf? It has nothing to do with this story, but I'm just wondering if you guys have read it. Like, even her body motions, like the tentativeness of her like position is weird for Samus. Like, she's like not in charge. All right, let's see. Let's look at. All right, I forget where I actually need to examine. Okay. Okay, there we go. Alright, so it's the Galactic Federation. So we know a little bit about them.
Galactic Federation.
We need to say it out loud just for our own sake. Oh, something's over there. Alright, so now we're back to this mode. I'll try to make these, you know, like 20 minutes long or so, because, you know, this game is a little bit long, and we'll see how that goes. Alright. Now, it isn't necessarily 2.5D. I do have movement in this plane, so keep that in mind, because that does play a huge difference. The running sequence there was necessary.
Fancy meeting you here, princess.
Remember me?
No?
Anthony.
Oh, well, apparently she does.
There's only one person who calls me princess. And that person is Anthony Higgs of the Galactic Federation Army.
Haven't seen you since that last mission. Hey, and your buddy's here too.
Yes, the
Adam
the
Malkovich,
general in
a
which
general in the Galactic Federation Army.
you will always
Not
wonder
only
what
a
the
trusted
hell he's
confidant,
thinking in
but
this
also my
game.
former superior officer. Yes, there was a time when I was enrolled in the Galactic Federation Army.
She was a soldier.
And then I was young and inexperienced. As the result of a certain incident, I left Adam's command and set out on my path as a solitary bounty hunter.
Because she's a strong, independent woman who don't need no man. Except in this game.
What are you doing here?
The first words out of his mouth were typical coming from Adam. To answer his question, I recounted the details of what had brought me to this place, and then I asked what circumstances led the Federation here.
That information is not for an outsider.
Yeah, she's an outsider.
The word he so obviously chose.
Outsider! She's
Here's
a
my heart.
woman. She doesn't deserve to be here. Misogyny. Not really.
Commander, we're all prepped.
Stay back, even though you've got armor on. That was the weakest looking explosion I've ever seen. Tactical, I guess.
No dice.
I think our only option is to use the laser to slowly burn our way through. This is gonna take a while.
The electrical system here is out, and we can't get the barrier wall.
Who are these people?
We tried using explosives, but it's tricky to pull off without collateral damage. What we need is some way to focus the power onto one centralized location.
Me? You mean like doing this? And throwing a missile at it? The laughter without laugh. There's supposed to be an audio clip here.
Let's go.
How many times
All right.
do you bring a general on a mission like this? Because that just seems silly. Isn't general one of the highest commands in the army? I mean, that seems really, really dumb.
Adam hadn't authorized it, but I decided to remain on site for the sake of the others.
Because you need authorization. You're a bounty hunter! Alright. Yes, Samus has decided not to use bombs or missiles until Adam authorizes them. Because she feels that guilty about it. Welcome to Metroid Other M. So, this is a good place to stop. So next time in Metroid Other M, we are going to leave and lose even more of our powers. Okay, maybe not. We've already lost it, but we're going to find out exactly what hell this game will bring. Because the game is good, just not in the story department. Later. Hey, thanks for watching. If you have a chance, leave some feedback and comments below. If you liked the video, hit that like button. And if you want more content like this, hit that subscribe button. This is Dragnix signing off, hoping that gaming brings as much fun to you as it does for me.